All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our last award. Hope everybody's having a good time tonight. All right, so our last category is Best Performance Under the Influence. And to announce our nominees and our winner is Ken Sissing, who won last year for a brilliant portrayal out in Los Angeles.
Thank you. Yeah, last year I got hammered, and that's a long story. Anyway, so first of all, since this is the last award, let's give it up one more time for Jimmy. Awesome. All right, so this is a category that's near and dear to my heart because we all get tanked every once in a while. So the first one is Mr. Dutch Small, who is not here tonight, I don't believe, right? Nope, he's not here. All right, Dutch. Listen, have you ever been to a Jim Peterson birthday, Halloween? It's another great excuse to get hammered. And Dutch Small did not let us down at all. In fact, he got so plastered that at the end of the night, Sam and Crystal Lee and some other folks said, look, you're not going home, you're just following us. So they went over to Sam's house, and they walked in. Wow, it got quiet all of a sudden. All right. So they walked in Sam's place, and Crystal, Sam, and the rest of the crew walked in, and they shut the door, and they realized after 5 minutes, Dutch wasn't anywhere. Like, where is the guy? So they walked outside in the hallway, and Dutch was literally like a fucking horse, sleeping, standing up. He was sleeping like, he was hammered. And then eventually, they brought him inside, and they closed the door, and they started doing their own thing again, and right next to the door, he kind of fell asleep. It's like a perfect balance between his head and his hips, and he just fell asleep. His arm was twitching because he's dreaming, I guess. But he fell asleep, and not a whole lot of people fall asleep standing up. So Dutch is our first recipient. Dutch. Jimmy the Woo, who we all know tonight, is nominee number 2. Jimmy, on his birthday, was a Poison Girl. And Jimmy's a pretty conservative guy. And he's walking around, old Woo, but the new Woo, so he's walking around, and every time you look over to Jimmy, he's got another button that's loose. Normally he's kind of tied up pretty tight. He's got another button that's exposed, and eventually another button is exposed. Like an hour later, you look at Jimmy, he's like down to here, button exposed, his chest is heaving like a romance novel. And so finally, about 2 hours in, his last button was the only button that was exposed. And he's walking around telling everybody, hammered of course, telling everybody to look at his nipples. And he's rubbing his nipples while he's having conversations. No, Jimmy, that's not Jimmy. He was hammered. So ladies and gentlemen, nomination number 2 is Jimmy the Woo and his nipples. All right. This is a pretty good one. I like this story. This is Sam Cole, ladies and gentlemen, and curing the jellyfish sting. So Jim Peterson and Sam were in Galveston, and they both decided they have to go pee. So they both walked down to the ocean, and Jim peed, and Sam didn't. He was on his way in, and Jim got stung by a jellyfish. I mean, it was all down his arm. It was a pretty bad stink. So they run back up to the house. They're like, how do we mend this stink? Because it's really hurting them. So they get meat tenderizer and water, and they start making this mush and start to put it over their arm. And Jim's like nearly in tears. He's not really, but he's hurting. So at this point, Sam decides, and they've been drinking all day, and Sam's like, you know what? I forgot to pee in the ocean, man. Maybe I should just pee on your arm. So their first thought was to pee in a cup, and just take the cup and just pour it on the arm. Jim's like, you know what? I'm more of a man than that. Just pee on me. Just freaking pee on me. So Sam and Jimmy went to the bathroom. And they stuck their body in the tub, and he had his arm out inside the tub, and Sam rose above him, unleashed that Greek, and he said he had more power than he's ever felt in his life by peeing on Jim's arm. Peed all on his arm. He started feeling better, and actually a little bit was rumored to get into his ear, too. So ladies and gentlemen, drunken Sam peeing on Jim's arm, curing a jellyfish. Tiffany Brock, who's not here tonight, this is the first time we met Tiffany. It was Lights in the Heights, I believe, right? And Tiffany, brand new, to the group, and had a few to drink herself. In fact, she drank so much that we kind of lost her and Sam that night. For a little while, they were running the streets of the Heights, and they were doing amazingly crazy things. They found pumpkins on somebody's porch, and they were throwing them out in the street. They found like an open cooler that had like a champagne bottle in it, and they pulled out the champagne bottle, and they were trying to open it up, but they didn't have anything to open it up with, so they're using a fence, and they're trying to get the cork to go inside so they could drink it. They're drinking like crazy. And Sam decided at that point, this girl was brand new. She doesn't know anybody. I'm going to take care of her. So long story short, they're walking somewhere. They're just being crazy. I think at one point they found a dog, and they were walking a dog down the street, and it wasn't even their dog. So eventually Sam looked away for 1 second, and she got into a cab, and that cab took off. And Sam's like, holy cow, I'm supposed to take care of this girl. So he gets in his car, follows the cab, and the cab stops, opens the door. She gets out and falls immediately into like a 4-foot ditch. And she was so gone at this point. She didn't know what was going on. So Sam eventually got her inside, and they made sweet, sweet love that night. No, I'm kidding. No, Sam got her in there, and but she was hammered. It's the first time we met her, and she was absolutely hammered. So Tiffany Brock, Adventures, Lights in the Heights. Sam, I'm just kidding. There's no sex there. I'm just kidding. Victor Hurst, last nominee of the night. The great and the wonderful Victor Hurst decided one night they were having girls' night out. It was in Galveston. It was Adela, Purvi, Steenie, and Lindsay. It's 4 of them went out having a great time. So Victor decided to go out with them. Victor Hurst, the great Victor Hurst. So he went off. He got schnockered. All right, schnockered, hammered. And at one point in the night, all the girls were dancing, and Victor had all their purses on his shoulders and all over, and he was sitting there on a pole dancing with all their purses, and a gay guy across the room locked in on him with all the purses. I mean, he wanted to gloss that forehead of his and sing show tunes. She was so fired up. So anyway, Victor was hammered like that night, and the guy was following him around everywhere, and it was a funny story to see Victor and this guy following him everywhere. So Victor is nominee number 5 of Best Performance Under an Influence, and the winner is, it's not it. Ladies and gentlemen, a 2-time nominee, the great, the wonderful Sam Cole for Curing a Jellyfish Sting. You got it?
Wow.
Thank you. Congratulations. Here we go.
Wow.
First thing.
Thank you, sir.
You bet.
Wow. Thank you, Jimmy. This is actually my 3rd Jimmy in as many years. Starting to think I'm the only one that gets drunk in this group anymore and does anything. Thank you so much. It couldn't have been possible without Jim and the jellyfish. Here's to us and our great ideas with nobody around to tell us that we shouldn't pee on each other. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night. Thank you, Jimmy.